In today's video, I am going to be breaking down some crazy basketball plays that work extremely well for young basketball teams from anywhere in that range of grade 6 to about high school range. So let's get down, let's check this out. Really quickly, if you want a killer defensive strategy, make sure to go check out my deadly defensive strategies that are down in the description below. Okay, so we are going to start in the Horns offense where we will have our big men in the high post, and we will have our forwards or guards in the corners. We're going to start with our point guard right up top. This should be an easy enough play for all teams to be able to run no matter what age they are on. Let's say this is Bobby. You call the play for Bobby. He is going to use players 4 and 5 both as a screen. This should get him open at least the first time or two that you run the play. You're going to then also at the same time have player 3 clear out towards the other corner. Both of these players should be moving at the exact same time. The first option is player 2 gets that pass and he either drives or takes the 3. That's kind of the first option. The next option is having player 5 setting that screen on the opposite side of player 2. What this is going to do for us is this is going to have player 2, he is going to attack that baseline, and player 5 is going to be rolling off towards that high post. Player 4 should be cleared out to the 3-point line at this time. And now player 2 can score. He can pass to player 5 for the score, or player 2 could have even shot the 3 or shot the mid-range shot. If, for example, instead player 1 did a skip pass over to player 3 because let's say his man was lost and everyone was zoning up or maybe even just cheating all on this side of the court, this gives player 3 an open 3-point shot. I have actually ran this same exact play for a center before in our playoff games this past year for my younger under 12 team. The reason why we ran this play is because my center is not a true center last year. I've got a true center now because he's big, tall, strong, but my center last season was a forward. And the team that we were playing was having a 5-foot, I would say probably around 5'10" kid. My center at the time was around 5'6", maybe 5'4" in that range, but quite a bit drastically shorter, but also massively faster. By the time my center used both of these players as screens, his man was still back here, which then allowed my center to have an absolutely wide open lane because nobody was calling switch. Nobody could call switch yet because his man was still over here who wasn't even at the first screen yet. So if you've got a team that's quite quick, you could use this play really well. I also really enjoy this play. This one's a lot of fun. Player 5 sets the pin down on player 2. Player 1 passes the ball to player 2. Player 5 clears out after that screen so that now player 2 has that ball. As soon as that pass goes, player 4 sets the back screen on player 1. Player 1 uses that back screen. It's called a blind pig screen. And that's going to allow player 1 to get that ball back. And it should be a wide open layup every single time. This is a fun little play that every team can run, and you're probably going to get a couple of layups every single game guaranteed off of this play. Now, you could run what I call a blind pig elevator. Basically, player 1 will set that pass over to player 2 or even to player 3. It doesn't matter. Once he passes to player 3, player 1 is going to then sprint to the basket. Players 4 and 5 are going to close. That's the elevator screen because they act as elevator doors. And now that pass should be wide open to player 1 for the layup. This is almost feeling like cheating because you will probably get away with this play at least 3 to 4 times every single game. And believe me, this works so darn well, you would be insanely confused as to why it works so well. But let's say he's not open. What are we going to do next? Well, I have these two reset. Player 1 sets the back screen wherever that player 2's defender is. He cuts down. Actually, instead, it should be cutting down this side because his defender would be right here. So player 2 would be cutting down this way. And then player 2's time to use the elevator. That's going to be our second elevator. This is going to be absolutely wide open 3 to 4 times. So with this play, if you can get 3 or 4 open layups, that's like 8 maybe points, maybe 8 points. And then you get another 3 or 4 threes available to take. And let's say you drop, let's say hopefully 1 or 2 of those. That's now another 6 points right away on, if you can hit all your layups, right away on the first 8 to 10 shots of the game. You already have 14 points. So this sequence can absolutely destroy teams right at the start of games. And then my favorite play of all time, which is just a very simple screen and roll, but there's other things that happen in it, is what I call S&R. We have players 4 and 5. They set a screen on either side of player 1. Now, player 1, let's say he decides to use this screen. Player 4 is going to roll. Player 5 is going to pop. When this happens, player 3 is going to sprint. This is going to be a dribble handoff. Player 4 is already rolled. Player 5 is up top. Player 2 is going to lift. Player 4 is going to fill out. And then after this dribble handoff, player 1 is going to roll. Player 3 is going to dribble towards player 5. Player 3 could hit player 1, or he can do the dribble handoff with player 5. If that's the case, player 1 sprints out. Player 3 now rolls to the basket. Player 5 dribbles out to this side. Player 1 sprints up. This is going to be another dribble handoff, or player 5 can hit player 3, and now we just continue to cycle through. Make sure to go check out my deadly defensive strategies that are down in the description below. They help trap a lot of teams, and it confuses a lot of coaches, so definitely go check those out. I will see you guys again in my next video. Hit that like button and subscribe.